So the point I was trying to make is that, if I saw a really bad car wreck with, a smart car and a Greyhound bus, and there was a lot of people trapped under this bus, I don't know that I would feel bad for the rest of my life that I didn't push that bus off of those people and save their lives. I don't think that thought would ever cross my mind, as much as I would be, just devastated by the situation. I don't think it would cross my mind that I could have done anything that I didn't do. I could have done something, but I didn't because I was scared, because to me, it's not realistic that I would be able to be, I'm not that strong. It's that far from, it's that far out of the realm of possibilities as far as I'm concerned. So I say that to say this. On some level, my daughter knew that she was strong enough to stop it, or she wouldn't have been upset that she didn't. And it makes me think that these children are stronger than we could ever possibly imagine. And it's crazy to me how we are just humans are, we have this ability. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me how good we are at making things the opposite. The double standards are the code in which we live, the code in which we live by, because everyone says children are resilient, and I'm not saying they're not, but saying a child is resilient is a parent's way of saying, or an adult's way of saying they'll be okay. Don't feel too bad about the choices that you're making in life and how they affect them, because they will be okay. They'll bounce back. So while I do think that is absolutely 1,000% true, I think that people are saying it for the wrong reasons. And not only is it sad that we say things like children are resilient, because it eases the guilt within us that comes from knowing that we were putting our selfish needs and our unhealed trauma, we were putting that before them and their safety and their well-being and all that. And thus inflicting that same type of, those types of wounds onto them. But beyond that, you can take it a step further and say, think about what would happen to this world if those resilient kids that were so capable of making it through the most challenging, horrible experiences. What if we were, as adults, resilient too? And what if we were not only able to, but chose to deal with our shit the right way, and, the all the way as quick as possible for them, so that way not only do they, not have as much damage, they're not as, wounded from the situation, but also, what are they going to bring to the world that they wouldn't have been able to bring if we, or when we, inflict that trauma, those wounds onto them? We need that in this world. We need for these kids that are, I know they're brilliant, they're compassionate, they're strong, they're just, it's a shame that they don't get to carry that into adulthood with them. It really is. Or that they don't. We don't allow them to. And on some level, I think, too, that's because we don't want to. It would hurt us more, I believe. It is possible to believe or to think that a wounded parent would not, although they would not want to feel the guilt that comes from thinking that their choices and their lack of healing caused trauma and wounds within their kids. But I think even more than that, the feeling that, the feeling that comes when we realize that despite all that, they still excelled the limits that they have passed you up in life and are doing more despite that. It's one of those things where, no one will admit it, no one that I've talked to will admit it, but I will. It's bullshit that my mother treats my kids so good. It's absolutely bullshit. It pisses me off. Now, does it make me jealous of my children? No. But would it be really, really insane and unheard of and unacceptable if I was jealous of them? No, it wouldn't be. It would be an appropriate human response to a situation that is not natural, that's not okay. Not how it's supposed to be. I will keep it in check. I will acknowledge it. Hey, I know this sounds crazy. There's no way, this is not how it's supposed to be at all. But the fact is, because of trauma wounds, I am jealous of my children because they get to be treated. They get to feel away. They get to have a side of my mother that I never got. But then I remind myself that I remind myself of all these things. So I'm okay. However, what I was about to say.